The Life is Strange series has made serious strides in the gaming scene over the years, with its well-written characters, captivating environments, and outstanding music tracks. There's no doubt that a franchise is loved among gamers. I've been a fan of the franchise since I first started playing the original. The game's timing has never been perfect, as I was seriously battling depression during those times. The game saved my life, made me a better person, and created an impact on my choices and life today. DONTNOD is a team of developers that poured passion in every ounce of creativity of the first Life is Strange game. The hand-painted textures, the choice of soundtrack, and the characterization of the cast are just immaculate. It felt like home. It's comfortable, yet bittersweet at the same time. When Before the Storm got announced, I was so excited that we are finally going to learn how it all went down before the first game took place. However, I was surprised that Deck 9 was in charge of the project instead of DONTNOD. And I want to be honest, I was disappointed with how they handled the prequel. Although the story was okay in its own way, it left fans like me wanting for something more from what we've got with its 3-part episode. There's too many inconsistencies with the first game, and we're getting more questions rather than answers. But the farewell episode was good. I totally understand that DONTNOD had to outsource this one to Deck 9. Because they were busy making Life is Strange 2 and other major releases in that year including Vampire. But after Square Enix acquired the Life is Strange franchise, this gave DONTNOD the freedom to self-publish their new and upcoming IPs. This is the start of Deck 9 being fully in charge for future Life is Strange titles. After releasing True Colors, which some fans claim is the back to the roots Life is Strange game, it still falls short in capturing the magic of what made Life is Strange special. It felt incomplete, and speaking of gameplay, there's no sense of alertness or guilt when you make certain choices. The same can be said on Before the Storm, where your choices feel shallow. In comparison to Life is Strange 1 and 2, you can get people to kill themselves, actually kill people, make antagonists suffer, or even gameplay moments where you have to rush or else you will get caught. We can see that DONTNOD had a better way of handling these elements as part of the gameplay. Pairing this with their immaculate storytelling, and you have a game that will stick with you. Now here comes Life is Strange Double Exposure, a new title made by Deck 9. With Max returning as a protagonist, it made fans even more excited, while others were having doubts. I don't want to dive into the story because we know little about it, aside from being another murder mystery, which some others claim to be some kind of rehash of the first game's storyline. Instead, I wanted to tackle how Square Enix business tactics seems a bit different for Double Exposure. So, this entry has different editions with different prices. Purchasing the Ultimate Edition lets you play the first 2 chapters for 2 weeks early. For those who don't know, Deck 9 had ditched the series' former episodic model and went with a full game release that lets you play the entire game in one go. But having Ultimate Edition owners playing 2 chapters early seems unfair for players who opted for the other cheaper editions. This means YouTube, Reddit, and Twitter will be flooded with spoilers already for the first 2 weeks. This kinda breaks the purpose and enjoyment of players theorizing together, just like the good old days of Life is Strange 1. It creates a divide between players who are avoiding spoilers and players who are discussing story elements from their early playthrough. Another weird thing is that Double Exposure comes with a collector's edition that doesn't include the game itself, but instead, you need to purchase the game separately along with the collector's edition, making it double the price depending on whatever edition you're opting for. Which is odd because DONTNOD's Life is Strange 1 and 2 have other editions too that include the game and also comes at a cheaper price. I wanted to talk about Max. DONTNOD made it clear that Max and Chloe's story is done with Life is Strange 1. Hence, they wanted to tell stories about different people going forward. Deck 9 followed suit with Alex Chan and True Colors. However, it didn't live up to the hype compared to DONTNOD's Max and Chloe tandem. So, bringing back Max might be Square's idea to create a buzz around, because she's a well-loved character in the Life is Strange universe. Although I'm not against the idea since I also love Max as well. But I really hope that Deck 9 could live up to DONTNOD's storytelling to justify her comeback. Reusing well-loved characters are okay as long as the intentions behind it are pure and made out of love, not just for corporate greed. But knowing Square Enix and their money-centric tactics, I'm a bit skeptical about this. From what I've observed in the Life is Strange community so far, some others like it, and some others are just not really buying it. Just recently, DONTNOD had to adjust their release date for Lost Records, a new IP that they have been working on and teased back in 2022. This is to prevent a release date conflict with double exposure. A delay could mean more time for them to add the finishing touches and extra polish. But when we look at it from a different perspective, it seems like Square Enix is here to compete. Because the new Life is Strange game just came out of nowhere. There's no early announcement about it, not even a teaser unlike True Colors. It just popped up one day with an October release date, the same month that DONTNOD's Lost Records was supposed to come out. Now, I'm not here to create drama, but it's hard to overlook these coincidences, especially when a DONTNOD developer tweeted this on their page. It might be a joke probably, but we'll never know what might be happening behind the scenes. But I trust DONTNOD no matter the delay. And I'm still stoked to play Lost Records when it comes out next year. So, am I still excited to play Double Exposure? Of course. I'm hoping that we would get a better gameplay experience filled with challenging puzzles and stress-inducing choices, just like DONTNOD's Life is Strange games. Hopefully they will prove me wrong that this game is not just a cash grab, but rather a game that's made for the fans. Because if the case is the former, then it's sad to see an IP made with love and passion turn into a milking asset for greedy publishers.
Are you okay?
I'm just a little worried about my future.